Big Brother is the greatest game on Earth. Just being a house guest is a true honor, as thousands audition every year. Once you're inside the house, it's a feat of endurance, physicality, and emotional strength, unless you're a floater, and then the game's pretty easy. This game is also the most complex and wide-reaching social experiment ever conducted in modern history, which is why 1, it's so amazing to watch, and 2, has been so popular for the last 17 years. As the viewer, you can watch before your very own eyes people use their full selves to cannibalize their housemates, all for the ultimate prize of $500,000. But truly, after being in the house for about a week or so, the game of not being evicted, is much more important than the money. There is, in fact, no money inside the house itself. And because your rent, utilities, and food are taken care of, the idea of a monetary reward feels and then becomes psychologically worthless. The one thing that does happen, however, is the game begins to change your psychology, a psyche that only Big Brother can create. So let's explore what Big Brother actually does scientifically to your body, mind, and soul. Now, there is one thing we know all house guests have coursing through their veins 24/7 in the Big Brother house. And no, it's not Ambien, although it does appear as if they're always in bed sleeping. I'm actually talking about paranoia. The word paranoia stems from the Greek word madness. In its simplest terms, paranoia is thinking people are conspiring against you while being concerned of a perceived threat towards oneself. Well, that's pretty much the entire game of Big Brother. So I think paranoia fits quite well with the house guests fully engaged in non-stop plotting and scheming to take each other out. But what does this constant belief, heavily influenced by anxiety and fear, do to us? Well, one thing it does is it changes the way we see things happening. Individuals with high paranoia will literally see a situation completely differently. They tend to have a biased perception of someone else's accidental behavior as though it's threatening to them. Think Davon watching Clay go into the have-not room. Davon saw this as an intentional move endangering her own game in the house, while really it was just a misunderstanding that may have been the reason Davon eventually went home. One of the major causes of paranoia is believing in external control. This is the belief that you yourself are not in control, but someone or a group of people is controlling your fate. Interestingly enough, this belief of external control tends to be higher in women than men, which may be the reason we have seen more male winners of Big Brother than females. Another interesting attribute of paranoia is hyper-acute attention, paying very close attention to the small details. Since paranoid people focus on threats and believe most intentions are against them, they are inclined to recognize very specific behaviors. This also may have been the reason Davon recognized Liz as a twin before anyone else in the house. And even though she did identify Liz and was correct about the twin twist, it was too late in the game for Davon to use it. With all this paranoia floating around the house, the body must react in some way. And as Newton's third law states, for every action, there must be an equal and opposite reaction. The opposite reaction for all the stimuli, such as worrying about competitions, who's going up on the block, who's planning on putting who up, all adds up to one word: stress. Stress is the body's physical and chemical response to negative or challenging environmental stimuli. When the body feels stress coming on, the sympathetic nervous system is activated, which then engages the fight or flight response. Adrenaline is released and the body is prepared for battle. Although this cascade of events takes energy, a lot of energy. Once the negative stimuli has passed, or if the body just can't sustain adrenaline production anymore, the parasympathetic system kicks in, making us rest and relax. This may be why we see the house guests sleeping in until noon, and why the live feeds look like an all-around-the-clock slumber party. Over time, the house guests can't physically handle the stress, so their bodies then engage the parasympathetic nervous system, forcing them to rest and relax, sometimes on par with koala bears, sleeping some 22 hours of the day. Along with paranoia and stress, many house guests outwardly talk about feelings as if they are alone in the house. This may seem odd because at times there are 14 other people in the house, sometimes no more than 10 feet apart from them. This was seen with Shelley after Clay was evicted. The isolated feeling comes from the combination of constant distrust in other house guests, which over time has its toll. Emotional isolation or loneliness can lead to even more energy expensive stress. In one study at the Association for Physiological Sciences found that when participants felt socially isolated, they reported the temperature of the room to be colder. This again may also be the reason why we see so much gaming done while sitting underneath the blankets of the house guests' beds. This may also be why we saw Audrey walk around the house as if she was prepared for an Alaskan tundra, but most likely because she knew she was going home. Loneliness also has a strong connection to the part of the brain called the ventral striatum. This particular part of the brain has an important role in learning. When test subjects at the University of Chicago felt lonely, this part of the brain was activated less. This could explain why house guests perform better in mental competitions when part of alliances. This can be seen with Liz, who at the time was a part of the Sixth Sense Alliance, defeating Johnny Mac in the emoji HOH competition, who at the time was working completely solo. And when it's all finally over and the winner has been crowned, the effects of Big Brother carries on. Some house guests, even though they were playing a game and not in combat, do show signs of PTSD. Post-traumatic stress disorder is defined as a mental health condition that is triggered by a terrifying event, like almost getting evicted week after week after week. House guests has said in interviews that it's tough letting the game go and adjusting back to normal life. Another very interesting effect of PTSD is reoccurring thoughts about the event, which in this case will be playing Big Brother. This may also be why house guests continue to play the game outside of the house. This can be seen on Twitter and other social media outlets where BB alumni are talking smack back and forth for months, even years at a time. I myself can admit that the game is not easily forgotten. I mean, I've totally forgotten about McCrae flipping his vote and stabbing me in the back. Or have I? So is all the physical and psychological stress worth it? When asked this specific question, many house guests suggest it was one of the best experiences of their life. Robin Cass, the casting director of Big Brother US in Canada, told the incoming cast of Big Brother 15 it would change our lives one way or another. And I agree with her. Playing Big Brother makes you learn more about yourself than you could ever fathom. And for that, I would say this is an experience that is invaluable. Perhaps more than the $500,000 reward of winning Big Brother. If you like this video, check out these other Big Brother videos, and if you haven't already, click to subscribe.